Hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk about the clauses in JavaScript. So before explaining talking about the clauses, I would like to talk about a few things. So one of them is we need to understand the just one example. Um, you might already know that we always say functions are first class citizens, right? So let's understand what that means. So in JavaScript, basically, function can be assigned to a variable, right? That's called a function expression. Function in JavaScript can be passed as a parameter to other function, right? So we can pass any function to any other function as a parameter. So so if you understand that, um, it's very easy to understand what is Closure. So let's write an example, then we will understand basically what the Closure is, right? So I will try to write it here. Let's define one function, or let's say let function a equal to I'm writing the arrow function syntax here. Um, let's define one variable within that. Um, let let's define the variable grandfather. All right. So here we have defined a function a, and we have defined one variable grandfather, and I'm going to write another function. Let's say function b. Let's return the function b equal to. So here I'm creating another function, and we are returning that function from function a, right? So here I'm going to define another variable. Let's say son equal to son, or let's say father first. Grandfather, we can define like grandfather, father, and his son, grandson, right? So we can do that way. So here I define another function within function a, and I defined another variable father. So and I'm gonna create another function inside the function b and return that function from b. Let's say function c equal to function c, and here I'm going to define another variable called son, and it will be son, so basically grandson. So we are end of the chain, right? Grandfather and his son is father, and his son is grandson. So here let's return on the. I'm going to explain what it is and why are we doing that. So let's print or return these values of all these variables within each functions. So we can write an expression here and we can also write same thing for other variable, and let's put son variable here. So, okay, so basically we created three functions. This is the child function of the A, and this is the child of B, right? So basically with closures, right, what it is doing, we're trying to access the variable outside this function. For example, B function is accessing the variable outside the function, so which is in the A function. And if you look at the other function C, which is inside B, it is trying to access a variable outside the C function. So here it is B. And also here you see it's also accessing the function outside the function's immediate function. So this is B's immediate function, but even outside the B function, it's able to access it. That's the power of JavaScript closures. So even suppose let's say you call this function, right? You are going to get this function as the value back, right? But it will still hold the reference to the grandfather, even though this is not. So once you exit the function, right? Once you make a call to the function A, and it's going to return function B, and whatever the variables, usually Once the function is done, those variables will be removed from the call stack in JavaScript. But with closures, it's still going to hold the reference to the variables that are referenced in the child function. So we can test that out here by calling the same thing. So let's try to call function A. We can run this one and show you how it works, but let's try to call, let's say, function A equal to A. So I'm making a call to function. So what we will get? We will get the function B, right? So now I'm going to call. We can print all this, but let's see how we can print these values, right? So then you will know, okay, if the value is printed, that means the values are still holding from this lexical scope, right? Lexical scope meaning that this is a scope inside the function, but immediate to the child function. So here when we make a call to the A, ideally it should be that they should be removed from call stack, but it will still hold it. So how do we know that? We can still call another. So we got the function B. So it means like we can make a call to that result function. Let's think about function A, right? So let's say function C. Say function C equal to function A. So I don't know if everyone understands this one here. But what I'm trying here, like when you make a call to A, basically this is returning this one. So it's returned a function that is nothing but function A. So I'm again invoking that function B. So here you'll get a function B, right? So when I make a call function B, you'll get function C, right? So if I print console.log function C, I would expect this one, right? We can check one more time here. Still holds reference to grandfather, because we already ran the A, but still it holds holds the value of this one. So now we are in the function B, right? Is a function B. So when we make a call, it will return this function C, but it will still hold the value of father here, right? Holds the reference to father. So now we got this function, and I'm invoking that function C here. So what do we expect? We expect this value, so which is referencing the values from its immediate function and the next immediate function, right? Okay, let's run this function now and see how that works. And just so let's run this function closure closure.js. See here, grandfather, father, and son. So basically, it's proof that it's still holding the references from the scope variables. So this is a short video, and I hope you understand this one, and let me know if you have any questions. And this is how we can make use of the closures in JavaScript. Thank you so much.